left-handed wave. Novelty. Yeah. There have been quite a few reasonably positive videos, apart from the Grimlock problems. But I had a word about that, and I'm not completely out of love with Grimlock, don't get me wrong. The G1 paint scheme does save it. It's not terrible, but the joints, the way they click and everything, he's not one of my favourites. Let's just put this out there. But I don't hate him quite as much as I did trying to do it on camera, because camera makes everything more difficult. So let's try and do something. It wouldn't be one of my reviews if my dog didn't walk around on my nice hardwood floor. I say nice, it's not. Anyway, let's do a figure that I'm just... You know when your mum used to say, she's not angry, she's just disappointed? That's how I feel about this figure. For once, I think I'm starting in robot mode because I forgot to transform it off screen. Because I'm clever like that. Transformers, Generations, Thrilling 30, whatever it was. Brainstorm. Have I done the guns wrong? I've done the guns wrong. Well, you can put them whichever way you like, but I like to peg them into the back rather than there. Just because they don't stick up quite as far. But personal preference, do it whichever way you like. You can have them pointing down if you like. Whichever way you like. I just, even though they kind of point a bit inboard, I prefer to do them like that. Personal preference. So, yeah, there he is. This is kind of timely with the, is it Titan's Return? Where they're bringing back the Headmasters. And they're redoing this guy that they made about 2-3 years ago. But now he's going to be a deluxe, so he's going to be about that tall. Fine, okay, slide this back. He's a very tall figure, isn't he? Okay. So. He's a very pretty figure. I mean, very, very pretty. Articulation's really good. There's joints all over the place, swivels, joints. No waist, but you physically couldn't put a waist in due to the way it transforms. And the fact that there's a nice big hollow gap where the waist would be. Opening cockpit. Nice. First thing I spotted as soon as I got him out, well, first two things. One, open hands. I must be about the only person who liked the cube with a tube system. Because I know he's more of a thinker than a fighter, and he's going to shoot things rather than, close combat. But if anyone got up close, what's he supposed to do that? Just go, do a faint backhand at him. If you got closed hand, you can actually... I must be about the only one. And also, what is up with these massive things? Absolutely massive clown shoes. They're like, what? 2.5 inch long? They're massive. And he's not that top heavy. I know there's this, but he's not that bad. At no point do you think he's putting any weight on those heels. Or on the toes. So I don't understand that. You can have the wings out. If you must. If you've got nothing else you want to put on your shelf. Just, do you want to have him holding a gun? Because, it kind of looks like a guy holding a gun. But it doesn't seem to hold it very well, because it's like this gets in the way. Where are you supposed to hold it? Like, no, that seems to be the way it's meant to go. You know what I mean? It's like the hand's going there, and then the gun's going there. You know what I mean? You do that both sides, and you go, pew, pew, pew. Quite nice little guns, quite simple. They remind me of the Seacons guns, G1 Seacons. Don't know why, possibly the colour, but that's what they remind me of. And, yeah. My camera will show any of it. Nice little head sculpt. These little bits at the side here, if I can try and take some of the glare off. Which one? See that? Just about there. They kind of remind me of like a Gundam's head Vulcans, because I'm a Gundam nerd, because, you know, big robots. Woo! Inside the body there, let me move that out of the way. Get your speed, strength, and intelligence. What's called there? I can't remember what they're called. The headmasters put them in, they pushed the things, the pegs that corresponded, you know what I mean? The stats of the robot, whatever they were called, can't remember. And yeah, what else we got? One of these wrists, I think it was that one, possibly that one. It was just really, really floppy. You put a gun in his hand, and it was like, just, I got a feeling it's that one, you know. Yeah, it's that one. You put the gun in his hand, and the little bit of weight is just in like that. It's just, there's no strength in it at all. I've tightened these with floor polish. It hasn't made any difference. Yeah, he's pretty enough. You know, he does remind you very much of the G1 character and figure. Although there's more of a comic book style. I've not read the comic books because I haven't managed to track them down, and frankly, I don't want to spend like £4 or £5 on about 20 pieces of paper with some colour on. They're probably very interesting, but I'm not made of that kind of money. Sorry, boys and girls, I'm just not. I know you can find some things to read online, but then that means I've got to sit on my own in a corner, staring at a computer screen, reading bits of, you know, scans of bits of paper with colour on. That's a little bit lonely. At least with a comic, you could sit by people and occasionally look up to have a conversation. You know, you can have a comic while you're reading that. You're staring at a computer screen. It's not the same thing. Anyway, yeah, nice hip skirts. I quite like the hip skirts. Don't ask me why, just do. And the front hip skirt, all that stuff. Now, the main gimmick and issue that was with at least earlier versions of this figure is that, if you know Brainstorm from G1, he's a headmaster. Headmasters are cool. We'll do the headmaster. You press and hold down this grey piece here, and then you can pull the head out. Now, this lever here just about wriggles that. In older versions, either people weren't doing that, or it wasn't moving properly, and people were just ripping that neck piece out. I say neck piece, it's the head. Now, this probably isn't going to show up on my camera at all, but to be honest with you, you're not missing much. There's not a lot on here. He's a little dude. His arms are moulded at a right angle inside the arm. That's what the light sort of teal is. I've seen customizers where they've cut out this little gap above the arm. Can you see any of that? See where that ridge is? To where the blue is? I've seen customizers cut that out to give more of a dynamic arm look. If you see here, just that bit's missing. It doesn't matter much, but I'm not risking playing with that. And the head's on a ball joint, so you can look around. That's the neck. That's the only reason you're getting that. That's because it's the neck. And his legs are stuck together, and it doesn't seem to like holding into that grip for that clip very well. So I'm not sure why, because it was designed to do that, but whatever. So we got this little dude, and we'll stand him over there. Now the head's come off, there's only one thing left to do with this, really, and that's transform it. So I'll put these back exactly where they were at the beginning of the review, because I'm an idiot. Put them back there. Put them back there. And this mode is where you're going to start seeing problems with the figure. You will see the problems with the figure. I don't know why I'm talking to you like you've never seen this before. You've probably seen hundreds of these reviews, because this is quite an old figure, and oh, nice clicky joints. Ouch. Right, swing that through the middle. You gotta kind of wriggle the hips out of the way, underneath, to the back, like that now. And that pegs in quite nicely. Okay. Then you lift this up, fold the toe in, and close it. I'll talk about that in a second. Do the same on the other side. close it. Then you fold it back and move the wing out of the way. There's that little tab on the back, which goes into the hole where I put the gun before. That one there. Doesn't it? Oh no, it goes slightly into that one below that one. Sorry, not that one. That one. Sorry, silly me. And do it this side. Go on. Come on. Go in. Go in. Go in. Don't fight me. Like I say, doing this on camera suddenly becomes a lot more difficult, because instead of being like, you know, where the camera is next to me, it's about 2 feet away from me. And I still have very long arms. Right. Fill with the wings if you want. Now, you open up this panel on the inside of the arm and fold that in. And that only opens to about there, so don't try and force it. It doesn't want to open very much. Close it, turn that around. Open, push, close, turn. Bring the arms up to the sides. And now, can you see that little groove there? And there's the little tab that usually sticks out the outside of the robot arm there. You basically bend this back and shove it in that groove. Which is actually there, not there. I'm an idiot. Right, so you bring it around and you peg it in. Is it pegged in? Yes. And do the same this side. Bring it round, peg it in. And then you sort out the fins. And that's your vehicle mode. Which looks quite pretty. Look at that. Looks quite pretty indeed, you know. Nice smooth. Cockpit's quite nice back. Nice wings, you know. Nice little guns on the front. Looks kind of pretty. Oh, sorry. One last little bit I forgot to do. Open up the cockpit and just fold that bit back up. It is on a spring and it will like to pop down. And that makes a nice little seat in there. Close that up. Now, I'm holding it like this for a reason. Because this looks really good. And then you go... Just look at that. Just look at it. The words fail me at this point. I'm sorry. Give me a second. This figure makes me think that someone was designing this and they're doing a really good job. And then they went on holiday, and suddenly the deadline was pushed up while they're on holiday. It's a case of, we've got to get this figure finished before the guy comes home, comes back from holiday. Put landing gear, I'm just going to put this thing down for a second. It's got to be done before the guy gets back from holiday. So, where was he up to? Oh, here. Oh, let's just finish it. And instead of doing it the way the guy wanted to, they've just slapped it together as quickly as possible. It's like the legs. Just fold them up the back, peg them in, doesn't matter. Right, the arms, yeah, just peg them into the legs, doesn't matter, who cares? What about that? Doesn't matter, it's fine, don't worry about it. Just... It has got landing gear, but it looks like it's supposed to be like that. But then if you do it like that, are you supposed to put the guns up like that? Because that's the only way they're going to be level on the floor. Or is it supposed to fly like that, but then land with its nose down? I don't... There's so much about this that's just wrong, you know? Someone who's got OCD will just go insane with this. It's not right. I mean, there's space here. If you'd have... Let me just get this thing out of the way. If you just put a double hinge in here, you could have brought this forward to about there. Yeah? Which would have meant there's only, say, that bit sticking out. That kind of looks like engines. But there'd only been that bit sticking out, maybe less. So you wouldn't have, 2.5, 3 inches sticking out the back for no good reason. And this... I'm sure you could have done something better with this than just fold it up and peg it into the leg. Yeah? It's just a lump. How... Because this all looks smooth and aerodynamic, and then all of a sudden you get this brick. I mean, they haven't even moulded... If they'd moulded missiles or something into there, something, make it look like it's there for a reason. Not just, it's robot stuff thrown out the way. But one of the bits that really gets me is, let's look at the bottom of these feet, right? There's these bits. Now, I've come to understand that these are for that much ankle tilt, which, I don't know about you, but I could quite happily have lived without. And they could have, I don't know, macrossed them and had them fold up into an engine, like they've done on so many other Transformers. They could have done something. But now, just open the panel, fold it up, yeah, fine, great. Just look how big this panel is. Look how far up the leg it comes. And that's just for these stupid clown feet. What's that all about? Just... But you can open it up, and you can hold the guy's legs up into a sitting position, and put him in there, and then close it up again. Now he's flying it. Whoa. My camera's bored, it's slipped to one side. Bear with me. The main reason I'm so disappointed with this figure. I got it because I wasn't expecting to find it. I found it in like a random shop at a pretty good price, and I snapped it up. And it was a time when I didn't have a lot of money, so you know the money I spent on it, I probably shouldn't have done. And then when I got it home and I got it out, and I was like, yeah, it looks really good. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I carried him around with me for like 3 days, trying to force myself to enjoy it, to justify the money I'd spent, and I can't. I can't justify it, because if this lot was handled just a little bit better, just, you know, if the legs weren't just sticking out the back, because if you look at, I mean, are these supposed to be engines? Yeah, are these supposed to be engines? Because they're not. They're probably supposed to be engines. You know, what would be the, you know, sides of the neck, shoulders sort of thing. You try to tell me on this whole thing it's only got these 4 tiny little engines. They should be big. I mean, these just look like vents. Yeah, that little bit of detail there. These should be the engines. These should be the main thing. It's just, if this was all just handled better, and if you want to have these blocks here, if you had to have these blocks here, just mould in some weapons. You know, make it look like they're supposed to be there. You know, for a reason, not just laziness. I'd have let you off. I'd have been fine. You know, maybe try and work out something best to do with the landing gear so it doesn't end up, you know, nose down on the floor. Because you might as well just not put it out. It works off. It balances. It's not even on the ground. Look, finger goes underneath. Pointless landing gear. It's just... As I said before, I'm disappointed. This should have been one of my favourites, you know? It was a modern headmaster. What's not to love? But they've gone out of their way to just make it not good. I know the Titan Returns, or whatever it is coming soon, and I fully intend on getting at least, say, Skullcruncher, Mindwipe, Weird Wolf, you know, the animal Decepticons. I want those. And the Fortress Maximus. Has anyone seen the Fortress Maximus? Can you guess what? It's a lazy reuse of the Metroplex mold. Just well done, Hasbro, Takara, whoever's doing it. Probably Hasbro. You just reused another mold. You could have spent money making the Metroplex mold and making it, you know, properly Metroplex instead of just remoulding and repainting Metroplex. The Fortress Maximus instead of reusing Metroplex is what I tried to say, but I messed it up. If you'd done that, you could have named your price, like you did with Metroplex. People will pay for it. But it's just a lazy version of Metroplex. But it does seem to have the double headmaster gimmick. Is it double or triple? It's double. Because the guy goes into Cerebros and the Cerebros goes into... Yeah, so it's probably double. But you could have named your price and you've gone for the easy option, and I don't appreciate it, personally. And then one of the first figures you show is the Sentinel Prime. And it's a repaint. Well, no, it's a prior option of paint job and stuff before Astro Train comes out. Astro Train, which the mold was designed for, is going to be a repaint of some other guy who stole his design. No, it's wrong. You're wrong. You're all wrong, and just no. Oh, another thing. The old headmasters, when they transformed, the forehead flap used to fold over the mouth. That's where the forehead's to stick out a little bit further. But at least then you didn't just have the robot head on the back of the guy. Ho hum, ho hum, ho hum. Transform and watch for the stats in the body, because they'll flip down. There you go. So yeah, it's just... I should have loved him. And I just don't. Size comparison for another figure, which, yeah, alright. That's Roadbuster. Everyone in the dog loves Roadbuster, except for me. And he's quite tall. He is quite tall. But I wouldn't say he's more than a Voyager, he's just quite a tall Voyager. And he's Roadbuster, so... I think I've pretty much had about as much as I can take, to be honest with you. Maybe when they inevitably, because I'm pretty sure they've already shown pictures, when they do him as the deluxe in the Titan Return, it might be better. I'm not holding up any hope. I want the animal ones at this point. I want Skullcruncher and all those guys. I want those. Because Decepticons, you've got to have Decepticons. In series where they have about 400 Autobots and about 6 Decepticons, the Autobots are no longer heroic because they vastly outnumber the Decepticons. You can't be heroic if you're guaranteed to win. The only series where they kind of got away with it was Transformers Animated, and that's because the Decepticons they were about as powerful as 5 Autobots. Whatever, let's just go. So, I'll be ugly, I'll be wretched, and I'll see all of you, hopefully in a slightly more positive video, next time. Toodles!